We're still deep in winter. Our Van Bertha is in hibernation. But today, we're going to solve one of our biggest problems, our reliance on solar while boondocking. We have 140 watt solar on the roof. We have a secondary alternator. Problem, secondary alternator needs high RPMs, means you got to drive around for an hour. In the solar, in the wintertime, forget it. And in the summertime, at best, it just barely keeps up. Today, we're going to install the IOPEDAL. Simple installation. Come along while we get this thing ready, so when Bertha wakes up, we're ready to go and can enjoy our boondocking. This is an easy install, only need a couple tools besides the tuner, which we'll get into in a few minutes. Need a screwdriver, some little needle nose just to clip some of the other pieces, mainly being the zip ties. So that's all you need, the directions, and then get at it. So let's go see what this thing's all about. Most important first step, unlock the van, don't use your key fob. Take the key out, use it in the door, open up, let it sit for 10 minutes, put the key fob in the house. You gotta let the ECU clear before you disconnect the pedal. I said this part's gonna be easy. It's just the module you got. They give you the wiring harness. First thing we're gonna do is get up in here and disconnect this clip right here. Goes the accelerator pedal. So that'll be step one. First part, just take your little screwdriver, that little retaining clip, pop that up, and then just gotta wiggle this guy out. Now, just get that loose. Hard to do with the camera. I'm gonna put it down for a sec so I can use both hands. A little bit of a tip. There's that little white piece. You gotta slide that up. There's a little, you gotta push it back and it'll come out. And then you can just lift that right out of there. So just make sure, like I say, that little retaining safety thing, pop it up with a screwdriver. This little guy right, and here, let me see if I can show you. I'm trying to get you some light so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So right here, this little white one, pop that up with a screwdriver, and then you just, it's probably hard to see with my fingers. All right, so this end of the wiring harness here, got two connectors. One side's going into the pedal, other side's going into the wiring harness itself. So we'll get that plugged in and get that connected next. As I said, you can tell the two ends. This end's gonna go into the pedal. This end's gonna go into the part that was previously connected into the accelerator pedal itself. All right, so that's connected. Got the two ends. As I said, apologies for the light here. All right, let's see if I get the lighting situation a little bit better, not much. As I said, this goes into the part that was plugged in before. The other one just clips in there. And then eventually we'll get to the wiring harness and we'll tie this all up. The next step, I'm just gonna take this connector here, take the ECU, and then plug them together. And it's pretty foolproof. I say that, but we shall see. Now, they just made up together like that. Anybody who's ever shot a video for YouTube knows it's a little tough trying to do it one-handed. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get that tucked up underneath. So the next step, if you give me a few minutes, I'll show you how to connect the grom, how to run through the firewall and where that gromet's located. Next part, you're gonna take this connector here. It's gonna go to the camshaft sensor. I'm gonna feed it through the firewall up into, see that kind of white disc up there? That foam, my hand's in the way. That kind of gray disc in the back, that's where we're gonna feed it through. And then we're gonna take it out through the front and I'll show you where it sticks out. So one a little bit different way, tried to go through the boot the way that you suggested. If you come right next to here, I'm right in front of the brake pedals right here. Steering column, or drive shaft I should say, pinion. And then right here is a little spot you can make a cut. And then I'll show you on the outside, you can feed it through there. Because I tried to feed it through the boot up there, but there's just no room with the foam. So one through here, not my idea, got this from one of the other guys online. I'll mention his name in a minute. Or afterward at some point. So as I said, it came through that grommet right there. I'm gonna run it up here afterward. And all along the back. First I gotta get this to center right. Gotta take this off here, which is the battery terminal post. This, if you bear with me, sorry for the thing not working. Here, come around this way. And if it'll cooperate with me a little bit. There we go. This guy off. Gotta loosen this. and then disconnect the mass airflow sensor, and then I can get the whole box out, airbox out, and then we can get to the camshaft connector. So that's what I'm about to do next, get these things out. They're just little clips back here. You just gotta loosen and then unclip them, and then just get that out of the way for the oil fill. Just find somewhere to kind of set that. And then get that up, and then get that off. I kind of pre-loosen these ones a little bit, so they shouldn't be too bad. Okay. All right. I need my hands to say I'm just going to unscrew this, disconnect the mass airflow sensor, take that off, and then I can get the airbox out. All right. Well, got the airbox out. You can see it's over here on the side. Once you get all those fittings out, there's just some little kind of rubber grommets sit in here. You got to pry the back up first, and then these couple on the front here just sit right in kind of each post here. Then you slide it out like that and just set it aside. All right, I got the cover. You just pull that back carefully. And then right here is your camshaft sensor that you're gonna go for. And just like the pedal clip inside, you're gonna slide that little safety lock in, and then push down a little and disconnect those. And then we'll get to the wiring harness piece next. Well, future me here. I was editing the video and realized I was going to say I was going to show you the wiring harness. I never did that. Brain must have been numb from the cold. So I'm actually going to pop up a picture here to show you how the harness goes, because it's very important to get it right, particularly for the top connector. There's really only one way for the bottom one to go in, to where the existing camshaft sensor was. You just slide in there and lock it. It's the top one though, you'll notice the two things you can see here, where I get the arrows, they have to be 180 out from each other. If they're the same way, you can damage components. They give you a big warning in the guide, the installation guide. So just want to pop that up, show that, since I forgot to do it real time when I was out there editing. As I said, it was cold. So don't forget, important step, make sure you get that right. Now back to the program. Well, this is usually the case with these things. It's dark now, so get everything buttoned back together. The clamps there, oil fills back, those things popped right in. And then you can kind of see the wire. I ran it up here, zip tied it, and then down inside. So now all I got to do is clean up the inside, zip tie off some of those pieces, put the ECM zip tied off, and then this part is done. And I think I'll pick up tomorrow with the other parts, with where we actually turn it on and we run it. So I think I'll call it a night at this point for this part, because it is freezing out. It is the next day. Before I do the actual pedal test, just want to show you, I got that all zip tied up there. The ECU is tucked up under there. And all that stuff is just zip tied up to the wire loom, and everything's set. So now we just gotta turn it on and run through the setup process. Okay, the first thing we gotta do is, they call it the auto ranging test. So when I turn it on the first time, you actually gotta depress the accelerator all the way down, hold it for 2 seconds, and do that twice. And that will program the ECU so it understands basically your profile of your accelerator and your engine. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. And then we'll get the app going and take a look at that. And they say before you do it, obviously make sure it's in park, make sure your handbrake's on. So let's turn her on. All right, give it a sec. And then that's supposed to be it. So we'll see. Let's take a look at the app. Let's get the high idle app. I said right now I got it set for 1300. You can go up to 2000, however long you want. You just do that, and then you hit start. And there it goes. You can see. Gives you a countdown timer on here with how much time is left. It does vary the idling, the RPMs, which is nice. That way it's not a consistent speed, which is better for the engine. So I'm not going to let this run too long because the engine really needs to warm up more. So that's it. You go back, you have the different modes. There's traffic. You can see on here, eco mode, there's a sport mode, extreme, off, there's a valet. That makes it really easy to use. There's a secure mode, which basically kills the pedal, so nobody can take the vehicle if you want. So as you saw, I kicked up the RPMs, which is exactly what the secondary alternator needs. That way we don't have to rely on solar if it's rainy, cloudy, winter, where you're not getting that much sun. I say that as it's a sunny day out here. Or you just don't want to drive around and leave your good boondocking spot. It's a nice added feature. So really happy with that. Makes it really easy to use. The other features are nice too. A lot of folks talk about lag with the pedal response. Once you put this in there, that's kind of gone too, depending on whether you want the sport, the eco traffic, or just set it at factory. So high idle is unlocked. Really happy with that piece right now. So fairly straightforward install. Hopefully I saved you some time. Took me a lot longer because messing with the first understanding the fasteners. Showed how you do that. Just pop that white thing up, squeeze it, and then that'll come right off. The location to pass the wiring harness through up to the engine, I would suggest using, that's basically where the clutch pedal used to be. I would suggest using that. Just cut through, there's a grommet on the other side. Just pull that off and you have access to it and put it through there. Nice and waterproof. And then I showed you how to run it. The airbox, don't be afraid of taking that off. Not really that complicated. Just took a little bit of elbow grease to kind of loosen it up. As I said, I had to use a screwdriver back there to kind of pry it out, but it's like 17 degrees when I was doing that last night. So the rubber was pretty stiff. Obviously when it's warmer, hopefully it's a little more flexible and easy to get out of there. You know, just really pleased overall. So probably it could be a 30-minute kind of job if you use the tips I showed you there. You know, everything else is really straightforward. So if you do have the VS30, the 2.0, 2.4 liter, I forget what it is, 4-cylinder, I think, diesel, I highly suggest this. They do make one for the older models for the 6-cylinder as well. So just make sure you buy the right one. I get mine from Agile Offroad. You can go through IOPEDAL, I think, directly, or others. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, really appreciate it. Really help with the channel if you gave us a thumbs up. You know, even better if you'd like to subscribe. Really trying our best here to give you different content, everything from tech, upgrades to the van, as well as our travel. You know, we're not just van lifers. We do all kinds of different stuff. So again, hopefully you found this useful. And as I always like to say, keep wandering.